And Omar Jimenez is out front live in New York City. He is in front of the hotel where Brian Thompson was shot and killed, the Hilton there in Midtown Manhattan. And Omar, what is the latest that you are learning tonight?
Well, for starters, this is the second day where we don't know where this suspect is. We don't know who this suspect is at this point. And some of the latest video that we're seeing, some of it you just alluded to there, shows the shooter, the latest in the day that we see the shooter after the shooting, which is only about 15 minutes or so after the shooting, seen on the Upper West Side here. But for perspective, that's about 30 blocks from where I'm standing. And with a route that could take you through Central Park, which of course, as we know, is where law enforcement searched, and of course, where he is seen on camera exiting. All of this as the New York Police Department is putting out new images tied to this investigation that they believe the public can help with.
New images tonight of what the NYPD is calling a person of interest wanted for questioning. Sources say these photos showing this person unmasked and smiling come from an Upper Manhattan hostel where investigators believe the shooter may have stayed before the Wednesday morning murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Another clue as investigators try to piece together the shooter's identity.
Pieces to the puzzle, they are still coming together. So we're on the right path, and we believe we're going to apprehend this person.
Police conducted a search at the hostel, and one law enforcement official tells CNN the shooter stayed in a room with two other men. Investigators continuing to ask the public for help and offering a reward for information of up to $10,000. And they continue tracing the movements of the gunman before and after the targeted killing.
What we do know is an extremely well-organized, highly planned, sophisticated attack from everything we've seen so far.
On the day of the shooting, surveillance video appears to show the suspected gunman exiting the 57th Street subway around 6:15 a.m. Minutes later, pictures show him at a Starbucks, where sources tell CNN he bought a water and 2 power bars, just 2 blocks from the shooting site. Then, at 6:29 a.m., surveillance video from a nearby garage shows the suspected shooter walking down the street while on the phone, just minutes before he carries out the killing of Thompson at 6:47. The gunman then makes a quick getaway, and this new video appears to show a person dressed in a similar way just 10 minutes later on an e-bike 25 blocks north of where the murder happened. Investigators also found a phone and a water bottle near the scene of the shooting. A law enforcement official tells CNN a fingerprint was also lifted from the bottle, but it was smudged. Also still unknown, the motive, but there are potential clues. Sources say a shell casing and live round found at the crime scene were etched with the words delay and depose, a possible reference to the phrase delay, deny, defend, which is the way some lawyers have described the tactics insurers use to avoid paying claims.
That would, of course, point in the direction that this person was somehow, was certainly personally invested in this murder.
Now, we mentioned that route fleeing north of here toward Central Park as we spoke about. Law enforcement searched Central Park for the backpack that was seen worn by the shooter in the shooting. Did not find the backpack and no indication of what may have been inside. And then on the hostel as well, a law enforcement source telling CNN that this person used a fake New Jersey ID to check in, which at this point was days before the shooting. And here outside the Hilton Hotel, life goes on, people walking by as if nothing happened. But of course, for law enforcement, the priority is not just where this person went, who this person is.
Yeah, absolutely. Omar, thank you very much. Out front now, Mateos Taranto. He was staying in the same hostel on the same floor where police believe the suspected shooter stayed. And Mateos, I really appreciate your time. I mean, what a bizarre situation you find yourself in. I know you're visiting from Brazil. You've been staying in the hostel. You've met some people there. Can we just start with some of the photos you took on the 4th floor of the hostel where you were staying, where where police say he was staying? Can you tell us anything about that? What it's like in there? What those halls look like?
All right, so the hostel is actually really crowded. There are a lot of people there, so they divide like rooms to, I think, 4 to 10 people. But in the
4 to
hallway,
10 people in one room.
yeah, 4 to 10 or 12, 4 to 12, yeah. So the hallway is just simple. It's just the doors that goes to the rooms, the shared rooms. That's it. That's pretty simple how the hallways look.
So it would seem from what you're saying that if he was staying on that floor, as they believe he was, that he would have had other people in the room.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so now you've been staying there for about a week.
Yeah.
And you're talking about these rooms that you got 4 to 12 people in a room.
Yeah.
So from what you're saying, he would have had other people in the room.
Yeah.
How hard would it have been to, as you see it, to even do something like to have a gun in there or something like that?
I mean, it would be that hard, like if he put on like his luggage or something, because there's no metal detector. There's nothing like that. So I think just go inside, and it will be all good. Like,
So he could have had something like that. In
yeah.
terms of seeing him, do you recall seeing, now you've seen his picture out there and you talk about the hostel being so crowded. Do you recall seeing anybody that looked like him?
Yeah, I didn't recall anyone looking like that, and people are saying that he always using the mask. So even if I saw him, I wouldn't recognize him because he was always wearing the mask.
Right. And obviously, as you were there those few days,
Yeah.
you know, you talk about the situation, there's no security, there's no, and lots of people coming and going.
There's like basic security there. Yeah, there's a security like you can't go inside without a card, so we have to check in to go inside. But like gun control doesn't have any. So yeah, that kind of security is none.
Right, right. And in terms, just out of curiosity, but when you pay, you can pay credit, cash,
Yeah,
in terms
yeah,
of
whatever. Yeah,
any way you want to pay.
yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, it is really fascinating, but also important, as you say, that he would have probably had a lot of other people in the room
Yeah,
where he was
yeah.
sleeping.
I think his room probably like had 4 to 6 people, but I'm not sure because I didn't get to come in there. It was locked. But the day that I arrived, there are a lot of cops there. People saw him. No, people saw the cops there outside the room. But yeah, everyone that was inside the room just went to another room, and I don't know who these people were. Like I asked around, and they didn't know anyone.